How's it going, everybody? Or whoever is here. Just a disclaimer, I am only streaming this early because of some time constraints that I'm going through. I'm actually off all week this week, luckily, from work, but I know that some of you are probably still at work or hunting down, you know, gifts or whatever for those of you who practice Christmas and for those of you who practice Yule. I'm sure you're all uh, cooking or planning a feast of some kind. But I hope everybody's good. Trying to fix this quick. Just give me one moment. Hey, Orion. Um, yeah, it was okay. Thank you, though. Had better days. It's been a really crappy week. If I'm being upfront about it, it's been pretty rough on all fronts. I hope your week is going well. Happy Yule to you. I need to go outside and do something for it. It's just been really weird here because of this winter storm hitting us like out of nowhere. And where I'm at, we don't, especially as far down as I am, we don't really deal with cold, icy, snowy type of weather really well. Sorry, I'm throat position. Yeah, thank you. Um, I need to figure out how to cut this slow chat thing off. I'll figure it out. I'm not too concerned about it at the moment. I probably streamed at like the most random time, so like I said earlier, like there's people still at work or something. It's like a surprise stream, I guess. Okay, terribly sorry about that. Yeah, so no, like I was saying, like this bomb cycle and thing's been really weird down here. Um, or this winter storm or whatever it's called. I was out in it for a good bit yesterday. It was kind of like raining and cold, but other than that, everything was just kind of, and I hope I didn't say Happy Christmas. It's just, you gotta think of all the stores and shit I've been into. Everything says Merry Christmas at the moment. The term Yule is a very rarity down here. I don't know, actually, when I went by the metaphysical shop yesterday, I heard somebody say Yule, so it was nice. Yeah, for my birthday stream, I had planned, I was just gonna chill out and like make music and do card readings and stuff, but my creativity's been kind of low, other than the 2 tracks I've made this week. So. Are you from the UK? It's really dead over here. Let's see. Um, I've been better. But thank you for asking someone else. I've been trying to pull my head together as much as possible. So trying to see what the deal is here. This. I hope you've been doing well. Yeah, this was something I had planned for birthday stream. I was gonna do card readings for. So I did some, I think, last stream for like what to expect in 2023. But like this was gonna be like some end of December vibes kind of thing. Some expectations. Let me do this really quick. I'll black myself out for a moment. Ooh, I don't want to do that. Mhm. No, yeah, I don't really care if it's really busy in here, to be honest. I just came here to hang out, and I don't care if there's just nobody in here but me. You know, sometimes I'm content in my solitude. Sometimes. So in case you were wondering, this is Indian sunstone. Got this a couple of days ago, and Indian onyx. I had more light, you would be able to see like this weird. It's like a weird ring in the inside of it. It was just pretty cool. Um, so far, it's like I keep these two. I keep these two stones on me, probably the most. Well, I used to use like black tourmaline. I just got this one yesterday. This is raw amethyst. It's a massive chunk. So I have a light work I want to do with this. So let's see. I can give it a shot. Oh, no, it's not gonna shine through it. But yeah, so this is the this one I'm really connected to, which is kind of odd. And then I've got some peach moonstone. I've never owned any moonstone, and this was the only kind that they had. Um, so I snagged up a piece. Uh, of course, yeah, you can ask for advice. I can give the best advice that I can possibly give. But I don't know why I can't seem to clear my throat. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love this stone. This one, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about this, but this supposedly uh, it's, helps you connect to like higher beings and different things along those sorts. So, um, and supposedly brings in like a motherly energy. Like I love the like little shine it has on it. I have so many crystals now. It's like getting maybe to an unhealthy level, if there is even such a thing. Self back. There I am again. A little over a week ago, probably toxic was 5 years. The boss of my college was off me. Yeah, my job's great. My ex-boss coworkers are. Oh yeah, I forgot. I think YouTube cuts you off at a certain text limit. So let's wait for the other half of what you're saying. Vindictive. Okay. And it seems like they are trying to set me up for things I haven't done. Let's hold on. Let's check, etc. Hmm. I mean, I've dealt with people like that in the past. Like, I've known my fair share. You know. Um, legally, I don't think they can withhold your last paycheck. If you worked, you worked. I think that like you can get like an attorney, I can speak, a lawyer or an attorney. Have them look into that. I think I'm doing like a binding or something. So spell wise, protecting yourself. Truthfully, what I would tell you is do not cause harm to others. However, there's ways of going with about it without causing harm to them, but causing the truth to come out, right? I would say manipulate a situation, never manipulate an individual, right? As far as when it comes to magic and spells and bind runes and all these good different things. So, my advice would be, um, there's some small things that you can do, like set your intentions, write them down on a piece of paper, state them to the universe, and then burn it. Typically, is it's like a very easy manifestation spell, right? That a lot of people do. I mean, I do it, but I do. It's really weird. I use that method to remove things within me that I feel is negative. So, um, to manifest that removal of these energies, because I can't perform Reiki on myself, right? Or else I would. And there's supposedly a Reiki teacher here, but I've yet to see him. But I would recommend avoiding doing something to somebody because you can protect yourself, but no protection is 100%, right? It's like a cop puts on a bulletproof vest, he gets shot. There's still a 50-50 chance that he's going to get hit somewhere where the protection doesn't cover, or the vest could be weaker on one side than it is on the other. So you have to look at it like that. You can never always be 100% fortified in that type of work, right? Like that type of spell casting, that type of whatever you want to do. Now, manifesting that the outcome is something that's within your control, and that I would recommend you doing as far as trying to get, justice and truth out of the situation. Um, I mean, because there's a level that they can do stuff that is classified as harassment, right? Or what's the word I'm looking for? It's not degradation, but it's like there's harassment and the words on the tip of my tongue. My brain's just not operating at 100%. Um, anyway, it's like the thing where they talk bad about you to somebody else. I don't remember the term for some reason. My brain is like dead. But what is it called? Anyway, they're making derogatory comments about you or something along those lines to somebody else. If you have if you have enough evidence to prove that that is what's happening in 100% surety, you go to an attorney and easily get them for harassment or whatever, and then force them into defamation. There you go. Thank you. I knew it beginning with D something, but my brain is like I stated earlier, it's like all over the place. But yeah, I would consult an attorney. Find an attorney near you that like has free consultations or whatever, and see what you can do. Um, and then maybe get a paper from that attorney if you want to pay them. Like usually, once a company finds out that you've communicated to an attorney, um, they'll start bending a little bit different because not all companies want to deal with having to hire their own attorney or what have you. That's what I would recommend. And then find some manifestation rituals or something that you can. Those usually help. It helps me anyway. Like when it comes to the need to remove negative energies or whatever for myself. Well, the thing is, Orion, is as far as the Reiki thing on myself is, I have to know how to do it right. And if I don't feel like my energy's strong enough, I don't think I would be able to heal myself. Especially here recently, my energy's just been non-existent. Anytime. I'm not an attorney, but I'm like, I've dealt with stuff like this before. And there is certain things that you can do. Uh, I just would caution you, like, don't ever try to do a spell on somebody or whatever, like, out of anger, right? Because you don't want to get down in that low level bright vibration. You know, you want to stay up there. Don't succumb to it. Because trust me, it's easy. It's easy to sink. I've sank, especially this week. I've sank low. And my energy levels are non-existent. So we're gonna pull just like a period. I want to pull like a general reading, I guess, for the end of December, and then I might do like different stuff. We'll see. Been this thing that's like so weird with me, and I'll be honest about it, because I don't sugarcoat my feelings about anything. It's like my energy has been so off. Like, there's been a few times like this week, like I've contemplated just ending the channel, you know, and ending a whole lot of things. Um, I don't know what's happened. It's just I don't know, it's like it feels like something parasitic, maybe. I don't know. Like, I just don't feel as happy as I used to, and energetic, I guess. So hopefully that'll change soon. I'm hoping, anyway. That was a really crappy shuffle. Let me try that one again. So this will be a collective reading. The words of many other tarot and oracle reading people I've heard. Take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And that is a good idea. I mean, I have did cleansing, like I saged this room, Palo Santo, did burn some sandalwood in here. I know sandalwood supposedly helps with a bunch of stuff too. And then bought some new stones. I've even, like, my energy level has been so bad that I've even tried putting them, like, I sleep with these stones now in my bed, like right next to my pillow. Um, Trying to just pull out whatever I'm feeling. That was another failed shuffle. Let's try that again. There we go. So yeah, so I do have a new deck coming. It is called Celtic spirits, and it's really weird because it's Celtic spirits, but it's got Elder Futhark stuff in it too from Norse runes, or Viking runes. And then I also have a new one back here. I'm not gonna debut this one yet because I'm still trying to see what I feel about it. It's a Beowulf oracle. Uh, I I think I have Citrine. I might. I love how I have to like lean back because my arms are so long and the space is so small. It's like way I properly shuffle. So, Moonology deck. What is the overall message that we didn't know for the end as a collective? Let me clear my throat without deafening you guys. Give me one minute. Alright, excuse me. For the collective of Timber towards the end. Yeah. Shuffling until I feel like I need to stop. I don't know why I haven't got the urge to just quit. I appreciate that. I just it's so weird. It's and like and I don't know how like to properly describe this, but it's like I have an inability to relax. So it's like even when I have to like go to a chiropractor or something, right? Like I can't relax my body for them to actually do anything. Or when I try to meditate recently, I can't just relax. My brain just refuses to allow me to just let it all go, which is weird. But I mean, I guess some people deal with different things, right? It's my thing recently, and I think it's too. It's just like stresses from health concerns and other things as well, on top of grief, and it's been a really rough month, but it's been a pretty rough year, all in all. Trying to figure out, I guess, joy. It's something that I'm struggling with. Is Mars in retrograde? Huh. So that's another thing I don't keep up with is the retrograde. So, see what the collective thinks here. So prosperity lies ahead. I really hope so in 2020, like at the end of this month, like going into the next year. That'd be amazing. I think we all could use a little bit of money in our pockets. Right? You are good enough. Full moon inverter. A lot of green here. Nothing is yet set in stone. Immutable. Yeah, it's very. I've heard a lot of people talk about like there's some weird stuff going on cosmically or like astrologically that you normally don't witness ever. I love how YouTube's telling me to downgrade my speed. Um, so yeah, it's so weird. Um, a lot of people are experiencing a lot of different things. Right. So what I'm getting, what's really interesting, is there's a lot of green energy. So it's like there's prosperity that's gonna lie ahead for some of you, and then it's like maybe maybe this is like gonna be a new job for somebody. Like, see this in this way. Like, it's not set in stone yet, but there could be a potential job opportunity that's coming should you allow it to be there, right? Like, there's for the, but I'm seeing there's this green. Like maybe somebody you know of might be envious. Like I'm getting the feeling of like the words are coming to my head like green with envy, right? Um, or green with greed. Like greed and envy kind of similar. So I feel like there's a job that's going to come up maybe, and you're going to question whether or not you're qualified for it, or do you even need this job? Do you deserve this job? And then you got somebody who's maybe going to try to talk you out of it because they want the job for themselves, right? And I feel like this is all going to be based on your decision. That's why we got the nothing is yet set in stone. It's because maybe it's a fork in the road, right? You can go either way. And the universe is saying you can take this job if you want, or you don't. You know, it's up to you. Um, which is really weird because it's like I keep hearing like in a lot of tarot readings I've had for myself for my horoscope, end of the year stuff, and I noticed that there's a tarot reader, I remember who it was, said that there's a common trend like everybody's kind of stepping into this prosperity aspect, like new beginnings for ironically the new year, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here. But I feel like you need to watch out for some reason this green is screaming at me like green with envy or green with greed. Like you might need to watch out for somebody. Like somebody you know of might be somebody who would step in between it, try to prevent it, or you know, try to get the job for themselves or what have you. Or I mean, it could be a job or it could be just any opportunity really that could bring you in money. Uh, so that's what I foresee for December 2020, or not 2023, but this year, the rest of this year, and going into 2023. Which is really weird because it's like, I know for an example for me, like I'm trying to find a new job. I hate my job with a passion. I can't stand my job. But I do feel like there is a level of somebody who would try to sabotage me and trying to move forward. But I think we all have people like that, unfortunately, in our lives, right? Um, everybody deals with this. Um, but I think that this is ultimately going to be your decision. You're either going to charge ahead or you're just going to let it pass, let it fade out like this moon in the background, right? But what I'm going to tell you is, if you really want to know my opinion with this, I'm going to tell you to stand your ground and take the job. You know, when it shows up, like, reveal them haters, right? Reveal these people who are the snake in the grass, the ones that want to bite you, the ones that want to get you down and keep you down, right? Yeah, I want you to expose them. Because you don't want to go into 2023 with that kind of negativity or any that kind of energy, right? You don't want these people trying to get in your way. You want to get rid of these folks, right? So you need. I think it's like, granted, nothing is set in stone yet, but I think that you're gonna have to definitely step up and kind of put your foot down with these people, right? At the bottom of the deck, energy. Step out of your comfort zone, right? So maybe you're the type who would like let people walk all over you, right? You're too busy being a doormat for other people. Maybe standing up and being heard, right? Because see, I see purple, right? Purple is usually associated with like the third eye and the crown or whatever. And I'm seeing that you just need to trust. I feel like you just need to trust in the divine, right? And then step out of your comfort zone. Put your foot down. Pluto goes into Aquarius in March for the first time since the 1700s. We're already feeling a bit, considering that Pluto is the slowest moving planet. Pluto's changing signs brings big changes. The last time Pluto, of course, America signed the Constitution. Well, it's really funny. Well, I don't know if I want to get into that on YouTube, but it's really interesting about that. Because I've heard a lot of people say that we're going to have, especially here in America, since we're getting closer and closer and closer to like a full blown disclosure moment, that in the next couple of years, things could like come out to where you could eventually have like maybe an ET neighbor or something, which would be awesome, in my opinion. But yeah, so I would say step out of your comfort zone and put your foot down, right? Don't allow yourself to be a floor mat, you know. Um, be the bull, right? Charge forward, trample over the people if you have to get to where you need to be going. Don't let obstacles stand in your way. That's kind of what I'm feeling with this. And here, I'll switch decks here and I'll try to pull, see if I get the same kind of confirmation. I have to make sure this music doesn't change to something that's not mine, because I really don't want to copyright strike on my live stream. So I'm gonna have to like stay with something that is certainly. Let's go back. There we go. You got chills, so I guess this is about you, yeah. I guess it's like resonating with you pretty heavily. So we'll use the Star Dragons deck for like some clarification on like how to handle, you know, the enemy next to you, right? I'm looking forward to. I could talk. I'm looking forward to it for it to go down. You know, like I know there's a lot of people claiming that like 2022 was just a simulation. How do we need to handle the bullies, right? How do we need to handle this? What kind of ferociousness, what kind of personality do we need to trample over these obstacles that's approaching us, right? How do we need to approach it? Do we approach it with love? Do we approach it with anger, humility, understanding? Approach it with pacifism? How do we approach this? Okay. So we have the self card, gathering your power. So I feel like right now is not a time for you to instantly act, right? You need to gather your strength, you know, because if you look at this dragon, right, it looks like they're slowly pulling energy in. You know, there's that energy trail right up them, and it's like, you know, the energy between the woman and the dragon is kind of like combined, right? So they're not fully charged up. So I feel like right now is the time for you to gather your power. I think it's Draco constellation, maybe. Could be wrong. Kind of looks like that. And then what's really funny is like you got the gathering of your power, and then you got the surrender, right? Letting go of darkness. I always view it as like it's pretty dark here. You see the more light over here than you do here. And you got the blossoming of flowers on the top, right? Like serenity, peace. Peace and letting go. Effort. Conquering your demons. So you see, I feel like there's going to be a time, right? Like, that's what I'm getting here in this full-on message here. Is it's like, you got to gather that energy, right? But first, you got to gather it in a way to where you're not going to throw in unfair bias, right? Like, some of the most effective strategies, you have to remove your emotions from, right? You got to take out the emotion and focus, and sometimes you got to approach things with logic, right? Because it's going to take effort, right? You're going to have to conquer your demons, which means you basically are going to have to overcome your emotions and do things logically, right? Because it's like, if you're going towards somebody, like, I don't remember if you remember this as like as a kid, right? A friend of yours would hit you or bully you, or a cousin or somebody, and you'd run to your mom or your dad, and you'd be like, oh my, you're crying, you know, you're just upset, and you're just like, hey, you know, they won't quit, they won't quit, you won't quit. And your parents look at you and just say, shut up, be quiet, focus, now tell me what's going on. So, because if you run up to somebody when you start throwing all this stuff on them, right, it kind of looks like you're mentally unstable. And you want to approach this from a point of stability, right? So you want to make sure that you gather your wits about you, is kind of what I'm feeling like. Gather your strength, gather your power, and then let go of these emotions. And then make sure that you don't move to this next step, because it's going to take effort, right? Because you're going to don't move to that next step until you know for a fact that you've overcome, you know, these raw feelings, these raw emotions. It's always good to approach something 50-50. Have 50% emotion, 50% logic. Don't ever have it be more than one, because then you become unbalanced, right? Like, let's see what we have here. I'll pull another card for you. Rebirth, giving yourself a second chance, right? And I don't feel like this is like literally like, okay, I'm giving myself a second chance. I feel like this is like giving yourself a second chance to approach this differently, right? Approach this in a different manner. Don't go in, you know, full on and just be like these, you know, just don't do that. I feel like you just need to calm down, and then approach it from a sense of rational and rationale, and I don't know what the other word I'm looking for is. You get what I'm saying. So yeah, don't go in with just straight emotion, right? You need to have logic. Let's see what the bottom of the deck says. Wisdom, right? Asking questions. Yeah, so there's that logic. There's that, you know, it's wisdom to go into something without, you know, being too over emotional, right? You need to go in with questions and calm and certain, like, what's the word I'm looking for? The word is like my brain. Come on, brain. Come on, brain. Where's it at? yeah, just approach situations differently. Like if there's been a common way that you approach something, like if it's typically like too much emotion, or like you approach it with raw feelings, maybe you need to dial that back. Think about what you're saying and think about how you want to approach it, and then go forward and then approach it with more of a sense of rationality, and more of a sense of logic, and yeah, just brain heart coherence. It's like you want to make sure your brain and your heart are in sync, but don't go in there like crying your eyes out or anything. Um, there's a reason why, you know, uh, it's the reason why it should be cry to yourself if you need to. Don't cry in front of them, because then they know they're getting to you, right? If you approach it with a sense of logic and just stoic. Yeah, there you go, stoic. Be stoic. And if you're still feeling the emotions, approach it like you are not feeling them. Maybe that'd be the easier way for you. Um, but I'm feeling like everything's gonna have to take its time. So whatever situations you're gonna be faced with for 2023, I feel like you need to do it from a standpoint of balance, right? Logic and emotion, especially if it's like a new job offer, or you may be collaborating with somebody, because there's gonna be that greedy person, that person that wants to see you fail, right? For that "I told you so" moment, or you know something along those lines, right? And just to let you know, I'm gonna have to use this because I'm very new to tarot in itself. Oracle cards, not so much, but tarot, very, very fresh. So, this is the only tarot set that I have ever connected to, vibed with. I know, you're welcome. That's why I like doing these, it's just like I started doing these at the end of streams, and then apparently this is just becoming something that I need to start doing more of, apparently. So we're gonna pull some cards to represent what your energy will be going into it. Because I mean, we see what's gonna be coming at you, right? So we need to know more about. Because I mean, the Star Dragons kind of expanded on that energy, like what you're gonna need going forward. But that's more of like a personality. But I want to know your overall energies, right? For like the energy you need to manifest going into December to get through it and to start the new year the right way. Because we don't want to start it in a place of weakness, right? We don't want to start it in a place of turmoil and despair and anxiety or anything along those sorts, right? We want to make sure that once we go into it, we got this energy. Oh, I got some Capricorn energy here. I have swords. 7 of swords. Let's see. So we got the devil. So I'm a Sagittarius cusping Capricorn because I'm born on December 20th, right? And then if you look at my birth chart, majority of my chart is located in Capricorn. So and I am more closely aligned with a Capricorn more than I am a Sagittarius. So this this card is really funny because, but then again, you might need to approach things from a sense of from a Capricorn standpoint. Capricorns are really known to be very career focused, right? They're not so much as an emotional person. they usually come off pretty cold. At least that's what I'm told that I come off as, like workaholic, right? Like maybe you need to approach this from a business approach this new year as like a business standpoint, right? Like get this business mentality going into the rest of December and then into the new year. Set yourself up to be, I don't know, be manager material maybe. And then we got this Knight of Swords in reverse, right? So let's see what this Knight of Swords means. I'm not afraid to consult the book. Let's see. Knight of Swords. Huh. So in reverse, it means brash decision making and fanaticism. Interesting. Maybe. So this is telling you to maybe approach things from a standpoint of non-emotionless. Like go in there with more logic than emotion, but don't overdo it, right? Because it's very easy to overdo it. I overdo it a lot. Like somebody will tell me, hey, uh, turn this screw, right? And then I might overturn the screw and strip it or something. So because I don't, you gotta know that balance where they don't put too much into it. Um, you need to lean heavily into that Capricorn energy. Is what I'm feeling, but it's like, but with balance, right? Don't go too cold as a Capricorn, but don't be too emotional either. Once again, I keep saying balance here. Then we have Seven of Swords, right? Upright, secrecy, and stealth. And I feel like you maybe need to approach this from like a standpoint of it's really fun because I don't know if you've ever read The Art of War. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Maybe you need to look weak. And I'm not saying that don't go in there with emotion, but maybe those people, somebody needs to view you as somebody they think they could push over, but I want you, you're gonna run them over with that determination and that force, right? Which kind of takes me back to the bull for Taurus that we saw in the very first reading. Is like you need to embody that energy of just you need to be a force to be reckoned with. Like maybe this is the time for you to churn out something that's a new you, right? Something that's not so emotionally attached and involved. Because that's where I get this fanaticism. This fanaticisms can come off as attachments too. So maybe you don't need to attach yourself to anything. Maybe you just need to focus on the goal at hand and just keep pushing like hell till you get to it. And even if you have to be stealthy, right? Because some people can be underhanded too. Like you got that person who's green with envy, right? They're going to be underhanded. They're going to be sneaky. They're going to try to get you. But the best way to get them is to not let them know that you know what they're doing and make them think that they have got that over on you. And then get them. Because then they're going to be like, at the end, they're going to be like, how the hell did they, escape what I was trying to do? Because you were already 2 steps ahead of them. You saw it coming. You were stealthy. You planned it. Right? Because if you look at this card, what is it? There's a sword behind his back. They're not gonna take you as a warrior, right? They're gonna think that you're a pushover, but not the new you. They're just gonna think that the old you, they're just gonna be looking at you from a past tense. They're not gonna look at you from this new you that's coming out with this devil energy. I remember correctly, I want to say it's like new beginnings or something. Self-interest, temptation, consequences, and choice. But yeah, so here's this choice. Like I said, you don't have to choose to be like a Capricorn. You know, let's maybe expand a little more card. We have the Strength card in reverse, right? So what does that say? Strength card. Weakness, anger, abuse, power, and threat. So I feel like, yeah, so I feel like that's where this is your threat to all this. Your threat to losing this placement that you need to be in is by letting your emotions, right? Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Be strong, strength. I see that. So be stronger than your emotions, right? Just Indian Guru Sadhguru always says, "I am not this body. I am not this mind." You're just a spiritual being having an earthly experience. That's what you need to remember. Do not allow your emotions to control you, because then you're just going to become a slave to the whole situation. And the whole point of this whole spiritual awakening going forward throughout these years is to just pull the plugs, right? Don't be a slave to the system. Don't be a slave to this simulation, this fake reality, this, because when you die tomorrow, you're not going to be the person you, or like if you die tomorrow, you're not going to be the person you are today, right? The personality, maybe some traits will still be the same, but you would just go on and become something else, formless. You are not your name. You are not this body. You are not your job. You're not this reality. You're not, your title. You're not your parenthood, your husband, wifehood. You're not any of these things. You are an eternal being on the inside, and you can't label or confine that, right? You can't allow that to become subjected, enslaved to your emotions, this earthly realm, because then you're turning over the keys of your godhood to people who don't even know you, right? That don't have your best interest at heart. Don't ever let anybody take your godhood from you, right? Your online business, that'd be awesome. See what shadows you need to work on. I'm kind of seeing a theme here. You gotta approach things from a different standpoint. You're being too emotional. I think the full collective is just being too emotional. I'm being too emotional. Because I mean, these cards resonate with me too. It's not. I'm not just calling y'all out. Calling myself out with you. Really kind of makes me think of the term "selling your soul to the devil," right? Now that I think about the devil card being out, it's like you can't sell something that doesn't belong to you, right? Something doesn't. Your soul doesn't belong to this life. You're just here to experience these things, to give you wisdom, right? I also have another one coming, animal spirit guides. So you'll I just kind of reveal them all as they get, and everything gets here. Oh, those two jumped up. Artificial heart. colorless angel. I've never gotten the artificial heart card. Artificial heart is, if I don't feel the warmth of the sun, will I blame the sun or myself? So basically, building oneself to specification, steeling oneself to adversity, dreaming of electric sheeps. It means you need to bargain, right? A female figured an android or a robot with cyber lines traveling over the skin like gentle spiders, black choker of the feminine servitude, and jaded eyes of the futuristic indifference. It's really fun. It's really interesting. So hold on, let's. Hmm. I feel like I want to try to figure out the best way to really explain what I'm feeling for this. So this means bargaining, right? I think that you're choosing to feel like this. I think you know that you're choosing to feel overly emotional, depressed. I feel like you may be using it as a situation, you know, ah man. Wait a minute. There it goes. Blame it on the ghost. I feel like maybe you're using this from a situation of using it to get what you want, using your emotions to get what you want. I really hope that's not the case, and I don't mean to like upset anybody with this, but it's like that's what I'm seeing is like you're using your tenderness, your emotions, your feelings to allow you to manipulate a situation, trying to get it to play off the way you want it to. And it's kind of like this once again, it's emotions. I'm feeling emotions because you look at this, right? They're depressed. I don't know if my camera, for some reason, does not want to focus. Yeah, they're very depressed. Look at her. Her eyes are jaded. Once again, I see that green, right? You're like look at the choker around her neck. You're allowing yourself to be bound. You're allowing it. You're using it as like a bargaining chip. Maybe you don't realize that you're doing it. But do we not control what makes us upset? Right? Yeah. Clarification. Alone in the world. You're using this to gain sentiment. So maybe that's what you need to focus on is you need to focus on your emotions. I'm kind of feeling like dare I say this, but it's like I feel like somehow some way maybe your ego's been bruised, right? And you kind of feel victim to that. Like you feel like, "Oh, well, I had a right to be this way or I feel this way about the situation, right?" And I feel like your ego is bruised, and you're trying to, and that's what, and the reason I say that is because you feel alone, right? And the only time sometimes our ego will make us feel alone, because it'll tell us like nobody understands this, or no one, you know, gets it. Um, and that's that like sad kid where unfortunately, their egos burst, right? Nobody understands me. The teenager mentality, right? Which could be possible, Ryan, because the common theme that keeps showing up, and the common thing I notice that I keep speaking on is controlling emotions, right? Emotions come from your heart chakra for the most part. So let's get some like spirit guide advice from. Good evening, Zero. How are you? Advice from your spirit guide. Boom. Soul expansion. Miracle. Forest. Cosmic gateway. Alright. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. So your consciousness is becoming more enlightened, and you're going to understand how everything that from earlier parts in this reading is interconnected. Then you've got this card, the Holy Spirit, right? Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. That's really funny, Ryan, because you mentioned that the heart chakra, right? So there we go. Maybe that's confirmation that you need to work on your heart chakra a bit. Horus, cosmic gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So maybe remember when in the tarot I said you need to step into a different energy. Maybe that's the kind of energy you need moving forward, right? Maybe that's this new self that I'm kind of feeling like you might need to develop. Once your heart chakra opens, you'll turn into something different, something more powerful, something more stronger, right? Then you'll start manifesting naturally. That's what I'm seeing with this Horus card. It's like things will just start manifesting because maybe that heart chakra is the thing that's causing all these issues, right? Maybe being a little bit too emotional. I'm seeing a lot of this teal green. Stupid camera. Hold on a moment. Thank the reading for too spicy for the camera. Oh, phone. My phone is on fire. There we go. Alright. Ta-da. Alright. So, now that it's back, that's what I'm seeing with this horse energy is like you're gonna be manifesting things naturally as you step into this energy. So I see all this blue green kind of color. I feel like maybe you need to work on your throat chakra too, speaking up for yourself. Let's pull one more card. Serenus, Life Force. Express your driving passions, sensual, sexual powers increase. I'm not gonna say like you obviously your personal life is your personal life, so I'm not diving into anything sensual or anything, but I feel like express your driving passions, right? Like once again, more green energy. It's time for you to become passionate about things again. Thank you for hanging out here, Lineal. I think, hopefully I said that right. Hope you have a good day, or night, or evening, wherever you are. Since we've already got all the vibes here for what we should be expecting for the end of December and everything, let's do like another slight confirmation, like maybe what we need to have, what kind of energy we need to have, what the energy is going to be for January. Let's see what January is going to have to hold. We already have one jumper here. So let's that one out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. So, I ain't doing like a 42 card spread here. It don't work like that today. Not today. Oh. I love how the card blends in with my table. Like, you literally can't see it. And it's like, my table's gray and black, and so is the card, so it's like, it really looks like it's just part of my table. So give us a 3 card prediction about what January is going to be like. That's cool. It is invisible cards. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Like see-through tarot cards. Are they? I need to look and see because like if that is a thing, I've definitely got to get it set. Spears, Ace of Wands, and the Fool card. That's interesting. Let's see what the Knight of Spheres is. Ironically, it's like, let's see what the Knight of Spheres is. I turn like right to it. It's crazy. Reverse, stubborn and misdirected. Inspiration, spark. Fool. Hmm. So, what's really funny about this Knight of Spheres in reverse means misdirection, right? Misguidance. But this means inspiration. Ace of Wands means inspiration. You see it illuminating light into the darkness, right? And then the Fool energy just means that you're going to have whatever beginning that you're going to have, this new beginning that's coming, it's going to be worth it, right? I feel like something's got you either confused or something's misleading you, right? And I feel like once you figure out what it is, you can remove that, right? Detach yourself from it, break it free here, and then focus on this new light that's going to come into your mind and these new beginnings, right? I feel like you're going to have an aha moment, something that's going to be heavily inspiring for you coming up soon, and then it's going to allow you to step into the full energy here. But the question is what's got you confused, huh? What's got you misguided? Or who's misguiding you? Maybe you're overthinking something too much, right? It's possible. We all overthink things way too much. We could just, once we stop overthinking, allow ourselves to breathe, right? Move that out of the way. Then we can get that spark. Once we allow ourselves to take a break, breathe, we can allow our minds to really hone in on what's inspiring us. So for January, I see that for January, I feel like there's something that you've been so confused about trying to get started, right? Or how to approach something, how to go about it. But I feel like once you remove that, like once you just stop thinking about it so much and just say, look, I'm just gonna take a break. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I feel like it's gonna. I'm getting a more of like an aha moment, which is funny because this is the inspiration card. So it's like it's gonna cut on like a light in a dark room, and you're gonna go, oh, shit, like I should have thought about that, or I can't believe I didn't think about that before, or is it really that simple? And then you're gonna find out that it is, right? And then you're gonna take that and you're gonna run with it, and it's gonna put you in the right direction, right? And that is going to be your new start. It's going to be your new beginning. You're going to step into that full energy. So I'm seeing that January is potentially going to be like a good time for you. We got, another, I pull another card. We got Seven of Wands here. Let's see what Seven of Wands is. Courage and valor. So once you have that aha moment, you're gonna have the courage, right? If I look at this as like, it looks like very Alice in Wonderland almost. Like you're gonna have that courage to jump down that hole a little bit, just jump. It's okay. Just have the courage to go and do the thing that you know you want to do, or to follow through on that inspiration. Because you're gonna have good things come from it. With this full energy I see, it's like good things are actually gonna show up from that. But you gotta have the courage to step into it and just fucking do it. Excuse my language. Sorry, YouTube. But if you don't take a chance, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna sit back and be upset that you didn't take it. All this wand energy. We got Queen of Wands in the bottom of the deck in reverse. Let's see what Queen of Wands in reverse is here. I feel like this is going to be a warning to you. Insecure and vindictive, right? Yeah, don't be insecure. And it's like kind of ties all the way back to the earlier readings. Maybe you're not approaching something because you feel insecure about doing it. Like, oh, I can't get that job because I'm not qualified, or I can't do this because I'm not good enough, or whatever. I think that you just need to put your insecurity in the back seat for a minute and just say, you know what, I'm just going to take my shot. Shoot your shot. You need to step into that Capricorn energy and go through the situation without emotions being involved, or more of a logic, right? Like, approach it from, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't, right? And then shut that off. Shut this misinformation and this confusion off. Then you'll have that aha moment. And then you need to have the courage to go, step into the full energy. And stop being insecure. Stop being this Queen of Wands in reverse energy, right? Just stop. Like, I feel like you're preventing these good things from happening to yourself, which sad, really. I know I'm guilty of self-sabotage, so I hope that nobody else out there is doing what I'm doing. But glass wing nature. Oh, well, welcome. And just hanging out, reading cards, and just chilling. Doing some predictions for the end of December and for January. The collective reading. Okay. I really want to expand on this. I want to expand a bit. Got the Page of Cups. Imagination and charisma. So yeah, you need to approach this thing like when that inspiration hits you, right, and you get the courage to continue to go forward. You need to think outside the box, right? Like you need to don't try to approach that from a mundane aspect or thought process, right? Like you need to just go forward and approach it from a sense of, with a bit of imagination. Use your third eye maybe a bit. If you see this is like the Page of Cups, it's like a mermaid. That's what I see when I look at it. Stop being your own hindrance. That's what I'm seeing January, like as a collective. Good things will happen if you just take your mind out of it and just allow your brain to just relax. Maybe that's what we just all need, is just a break. I think that's what we're all gonna need for January, because it's been like a crazy past few years. I think we all just need to sit down, process this year, breathe, allow it, get some R&R maybe, um, and then approach it from a different standpoint, right? Approach it differently. It's like when you work on a car. For me, like if I'm fighting with a car and I feel like I've tried everything and I'm getting angry, you start losing that sense of logic. You start losing that sense of being able to think clearly, because your emotions become just fucking all over the place, right? So you need to just dial back the emotions and just focus more on a slow, methodical, logical sense. And start trying to be creative. Start experimenting with different things to see what works for you and what flows with people. Maybe you're going to start like a YouTube channel. Maybe you're going to open your own business. Maybe you're going to get a new job. Maybe you're going to do whatever. Like, try something different. It's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like it's a new year. You're needing to come into a new energy, like we saw in the past tarot read with the devil energy stepping into maybe like a Capricorn, right? Like, step into that Capricorn energy, start pulling back them emotions, and stop approaching things from such a standpoint of complete emotion. Do it 50-50, brain heart coherence, balance it out. I would recommend go find a brain heart coherence meditation, learn how to sync your mind and your heart together. It'll just balance it out. I need to do it. I haven't done it in a while, so my emotions are like over here and my brain is like over here, and it's just like it's making a mess with me. Capricorn energy is what you're going to need going into the next year. I mean, you need to approach this from a Capricorn standpoint. Hello, Kim. How are you? Welcome. Needed to hear this too. I live in fear, and my brain never rests either. So I feel you there. I wish sometimes I could just hit the switch and cut it off, but I think that would kill me. Um, it'd be nice if I could. If we could just take our brains and just power them off and let them charge overnight, put them back in. So you need to approach January with a different way of handling. Oh, another card. Got the Chariot card in reverse. So usually in the Chariot's in a normal aspect, it's moving. It could be moving or it could be just moving forward. But if it's reversed, I feel like you run the risk of overthinking and preventing yourself from moving forward, right? Which is kind of what I saw in the Nothing is Set in Stone card, and I used some Moonology cards earlier, is that you can become your own hinderment. Do not allow that to happen. You need to step out of that whole overthinking and da 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 da. That's where this card comes in, right? Shut it down. Just shut it, close it down, and allow yourself the chance to just breathe and relax and try to approach it from a different standpoint. Man, I know emotions can run high sometimes, right? Just see the overall vibe, right? Like, I mean, I see like maybe the hurdles and the obstacles. It's like you're gonna need to still, like, I'm seeing some of that December energy carrying into January, where you're still battling that, pulling back the emotions and everything as well. So maybe we just need to see what the overall vibe is for like the first 6 months of 2023 for you. Because I'm concerned a bit for myself as well, because I'm involved in this collective grief. Like, maybe I'm hoping that we can get a balance on ourselves at some point, right? Relax, have some R&R, eat some pizza. If you want to eat tacos in the bathtub and drink a beer, eat tacos in the bathtub and drink a beer, if that's what makes you relax. So we need to figure out like how to mellow ourselves out here. So let's see what 6 months holds. After the last two, yeah. 6 months. I hope it's telling us that we all can relax. I hope that's what it's gonna say. It's like Page of Cups slipped. Let's see what we got here. The Moon card, the High Priestess, and the Page of Cups. We already know what this means, right? Imagination. Dreams, positive emotions, intuition, soul's purpose. Perfect. High Priestess. Divination, wisdom from experience, insight, and counsel. So, yeah, so I think within 6 months and into 2023, you're going to learn, you're going to already know what you need to do. Which is good because it means you're stepping into that. I've already found my niche. I've already found the footing and the shoes I need to fill going forward into the year, right? So, and I feel like you're gonna do that. So once you step into that energy, you start getting more into your maybe some divine stuff like tarot reading for yourselves, consulting tarot readers, oracles, whatever it is you need, whatever divination, meditation, whatever kind of things you use. And it's going to continue that flow of imagination that you're going to need to continue into that full energy from last week. It's like you got the moon, so there's going to be light shining on it, and I see moon again here, so there's going to be tons of light guiding your path, right? That's kind of what I'm feeling from this. Is like tons of light going to be guiding you in the right direction. And I feel like, and this means divinity too, so maybe whatever it is spirit, right? Spirit guides, source energy, whatever you want to call it. Ancestors, gods, goddesses, whatever floats your boat will be guiding you through this. And it's just like, and I feel like once this light cuts on, all this light continues to flood your mind, you're going to have like one imaginative thought after another, right? It's just going to continuously flow. And I feel like you're not going to have a lack of that. Let's pull one card. Yeah, Chariot card in reverse. Prevent yourself from being stagnant. That's the second time that cards came out, so apparently there's something there. Don't allow yourself to just stay still. Don't allow yourself to stop and go, I'm not good enough. Don't allow that stuff to keep, because if you stop, you know, it's like what's the old saying? You know, it's like my mom used to tell me, it's like, you know, if you got to run through like a dangerous situation, right, or you're in a haunted house and you're afraid and you're running, you don't look behind you. You keep going until you get out, right? And I feel, because if you stop, what's going to happen? You're going to get caught. And I feel like that's what this is saying, is like, if you stop yourself and you allow yourself to stop even for a second, that old way is going to jump back on you, and you're not going to move forward. You're going to be stagnant again. And you're going to be left wondering, WTF, like, what the hell happened? See, and another warning, 10 of Cups in reverse. Disagreements, unhappiness, mostly in relationships. But I don't really see like this is like a relationship that's like romantic, maybe. I mean, it could be for but it's like, maybe this is going to be a disagreement and unhappiness within your relationship within yourself. Because if you allow yourself, because of your anxiety, to stop you from continuing forward and start going forward, and like with that Capricorn energy and everything, and you allow and that imaginativeness, if you allow yourself to stop, then you're going to be like, shit, why did I do that, right? You're just going to be extremely upset with yourself. Hey Pamela, how are you? Welcome. So I see that energy being used at least 6 months into the year for 2023. But so I feel like some of us will maintain it. Some of us won't, unfortunately. That's that's what I'm afraid of. Some of us won't, and then we'll either hate ourselves for it or we'll blame it on the divine or whatever it is. Six of Spheres, verse. Stinginess and greed. Maybe too, like if you approach a situation, like if it's like I said, it's like it's a new job, a new business, or whatever, or like an online thing, or YouTube. Don't allow ego, because greed and all this, like I said way earlier, maybe this person is greedy and envious. Now that I'm seeing all this, putting together like the story after all these decks have been brought out, just painting this big picture. Maybe it's not somebody you're closest to. Maybe the person that's greedy and approaching a situation with greed is you. And maybe that's a trap that you're going to fall into. Because this means greed, right? Stinginess. Maybe you don't need to approach it from the standpoint of money. Maybe you don't need to approach a job from the standpoint of this because it pays me this much. Maybe you need to ask yourself, is like, do I like this job? Do I want this job? Do I love this job? Do I love this YouTube? Do I love what I do? Do I love my craft? Do I love all these different things? Because if you are only doing it for the money, the people are going to see that. People are going to see it. Excuse me. You don't want that. You want your sincerity, because if you're going from it from a just a strictly business standpoint and there's no enjoyment or whatever, it's going to become mundane once again, and you're going to allow yourself to really back down, and you're going to really slow yourself down and go, oh well, I have to, you know what. Don't approach it from a standpoint of money. Approach it from a standpoint of passion. Passion. Passion, passion, passion. Don't approach it from anything else. Stop being your worst enemy. This reading's really making me emotional. Things push towards a better life. Wow, signs are. Yeah, that's usually how it works. Is like the signs are everywhere, and it's like in all of these readings I've done, I've used basically every deck I have here minus one, and they're all kind of saying the same thing. You have the King of Cups energy here, you know, upright. Let's take a peek at that. As I said before, I still use the book. There ain't no shame in that. Plus, it's a new deck, so every one of these things are influential and responsible. So yeah, so I feel like if you maybe approach this thing from a standpoint of a non-ego standpoint, or right, a non-greedy standpoint, then maybe others will be looking at you like maybe like they'll look at you like a mentor, bro. Or if, I mean, even if they're not looking at you as a mentor, you'll stand in an energy to where if somebody needs help, you can guide them the right way. Because if you don't, you approach this from a sense of greed, you're not going to have that energy. Because you're just going to be like, well, I was only focused on the money. I don't really know this, you know, yeah. It's like me saying, okay, I created mimirswell, this whole channel strictly for money, right? If I did that, I would, you know, first of all, I'd be extremely upset with myself because, you know, if I was so, to make money on YouTube, you have to obviously monetize the hell out of anything you do. There's only an ad, I think, like at the beginning of the video for the channel, and if I do put ads in the middle of anywhere, if it's rare, and if I do it, I get cussed out because obviously people's meditations get rare. So it's not really a money thing for me. I do it because I enjoy making music and I enjoy helping people in their spiritual journeys, right? So this is kind of like where this all came from. And it's like me doing tarot readings right now. I could create a different channel doing that strictly just to make money off of it, but I don't. I just kind of save it for the collective because I enjoy hanging out with all of them. But like, but if somebody came to me and said, hey, how would I be able to do this? I can mentor them in that because I approach things without a standpoint of ego with this channel, right? Um, if I approach from a standpoint of greed, I wouldn't want to be in that energy because I wouldn't want nobody to take from my money, quote unquote. I'm gonna give it. Yeah, we're oh, I'm okay. I'm not great, but everybody that's in here hopefully is doing good. They're just hanging out, doing stuff. Exactly, Orion. Steve Jobs. Man, I'm out of water. If there's anything else that wants to come up for this reading. Death card. And for those of you out there, no, this does not mean you're gonna die. I have to explain this to, unfortunately, a few good people. That means, you know, death, rebirth, end of cycles, right? If you play this right, there'll be an end of the cycle. Maybe the cycle of like, maybe a cycle of like you actually being happy in what you're doing versus approaching it from wealth, right? Like, I don't like my job, but then again, I approach my job from a standpoint of only liking it because of the money. So, oh, thank you, Glass Angel. I hope you have a good day and have a good Yule as well. Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, there's gonna be an end to the cycle. It's gonna be transformative. I feel like if you play your cards right, it'll be transformative. And at the bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Spheres. Reverse. Missed opportunities and burdensome obligations. So yeah, if you don't approach this thing from a standpoint of loving what you're doing, it could leave very instantly, right? And then it could also become burdensome. You could view it as like a burden instead of a blessing, right? I hope that these readings resonated with everybody. I know it spoke volumes to me, right? Kind of some of the stuff I feel like I've been dealing with. Woo! My phone is on fire. Let's see if I can get it to finally cool off now. It's really funny. It's like I honestly feel like I could take a nap right now. and it's really is because it's something I always say after every time I do readings for people. It's like I get instantly tired, like beyond description. I appreciate everybody for hanging out and participating in me doing reads for people. I hope anything that has been said tonight resonates with you. As I said, I'm kind of getting new into this form of divination or whatever you want to call it. So I've done all sorts of different things, but this is pretty new to me. Hey, Care Bear Stare, how are you? Hope everybody's having a good night, or a good day. I'm actually about to sign off so that way I can go get some water and actually get something to drink. Yes, yes, I had to get this shirt. Yeah, I'm really sad about the way that season went, but you know, it is what it is. I think they should bring Eddie back, but spoiler alert, terribly sorry for everybody. Shouldn't have done that. No, this shirt's really funny to wear down here, especially in the South, because everybody just sees. They don't understand what it's from. I'm sure, well, some of them will, but others just see it as like a devil on my shirt. And then I have my nose pierced, so and they're like, "Oh, you're a Satan worshiper." And then I, out of sarcasm, always ask them where the nearest church is, and where I can get a goat. Oh yeah, I'll share something too. I had Chinese food. This is really random, but it's like kicks and giggles for me anyway. Like, I got a fortune yesterday that said, let's see, come on, focus, focus, focus. This camera is usually really good at focusing. There it goes. An interesting musical opportunities in your near future. For the first time in my life, I am hoping that a Chinese food fortune cookie is actually true. It'd be epic if it was. Thank you, Care Bear. I'm glad you enjoy it. Try to put a lot of energy into it and a lot of money. I am in Alabama, but not northern Alabama. I'm in southern Alabama, where I'm about an hour and a half north of the Florida line. So I'm in LA, lower Alabama. You would never guess it because I don't have a southern accent. I am eternally grateful for. Um, I think I would stab my own ears out if I spoke with a southern accent. So. Well, to be fair, at least people here tell me I don't sound like I'm from here. Whether or not that's true, who knows? Well, it depends on which Walmart you go to. I mean, I'm sure there's some towns around here where people are married to their sisters or their cousins or something like that. But you would actually find that more so in Mississippi, but Alabama. Down here, it's just full of meth heads and, you know, other different things. It's not like I'm from California. Thank you. You just told me I was diverse and educated in one sentence. That's amazing. I mean, I'm trying to think. I do know some people from Cali. One particular from San Diego. And I vibe with him pretty hard. Me and him were really good friends. I don't know. I guess it's just because I don't like my voice, so I don't listen to it too often. So that's kind of like another fun reason why I'm glad I stopped doing the podcast aspect of this channel, because I'm just like, editing my vocal, like my voice, was a nightmare. I cannot stand it. But I know that for me, I'm about to go start the night off right after I sign off here with eating some pizza and maybe having a beer. Do I like living in the South? No. No. I can't stand it down here. Like, for the longest time, I think the main reason I stayed here is because my mom and my dad is still alive. My mom recently passed, like in September, like a majority of you know. So yeah, once he's gone, I have my son here, so that'd be like probably the only thing that keeps me here. But other than that, I mean, if I could take my kid with me and just bail, more than likely. I don't like the heat. I don't like Southern tradition. I like to know that there's more than one fucking season every year. Here we have like two. It goes hot as hell, and then it's freezing your ass off, but the grass is still green in some parts of the town. Where would you rather? Stuff. I like mountains, but I also like vast fields too, like prairies. So something like, if I could combine Colorado and Wyoming, I would just, I think it'd be something like a combination of that. I heard Canada's like that though, like very mountainous, and there's like a lot of prairies and stuff. I don't know. It's just, to me, I'm like, I want to be able to have the mountains for the rustic stuff and the snow and everything, because it's just what I like. And then, but at the same time, I would like to have the prairies and stuff. You know, go, you know, camping in the middle of a field somewhere or whatever. Get abducted by an alien, you know, or an ET. Terribly sorry. That's very rude of me to say that. Yeah. I don't like the beach, but I'm also super pale. So anything sunny, but it would explain like why my doctor tells me all the time I desperately need sunlight because my vitamin D levels are like non-existent. That's probably why I'm tired. Yeah. I mean, somewhere like that, or like what's it called? Montana or somewhere, something like that. Yeah, no, my doctor did give me vitamin D, like 50,000 units that I take like once a week. Uh, at the moment, so it's really funny. Like the first day I took it, felt like somebody hit me in like with like a needle full of like epinephrine or whatever, like not epinephrine, whatever the fuck it's called, like speed. Like I was like jacked up out of my mind. Like I had like 15 cups of coffee or something. It's crazy. Yeah, I take a lot of vitamins, so pretty good amount. So I am actually about to sign off, go eat, since it's bringing up to 6 o'clock now. So I use the most red light I ever use is my LEDs. That's in here. It's like red lights, and I use them just to go to sleep. Uh, but no, I've never heard of that. So I hope you all have a good Yule and a good night, day, evening, wherever you are. It was fun to do readings, as always, and yeah, I'll try to maybe go live again soon. Hopefully, I'll feel better. This kind of helped me feel better for a little bit anyway. So, you guys have and gals have a good night and a good rest of the week. And yeah, I'll see you guys.